if you have diabetes, type 1, type 2, and peripheral neuropathy, you need to kind of hunker down here and bear with me through this video, because you're going to find out about a in-home therapy that is over 90% successful at reversing the symptoms of diabetic peripheral neuropathy. Don't believe me? I understand there's a lot of confusion and skepticism, but I've got the study right here, one of many, and I want to share it with you. I'm just going to break it down a little bit. Let me share my screen and we'll get right to it. So, symptomatic reversal of peripheral neuropathy and diabetic. All of these patients were known to have diabetic neuropathy, and they all had sensory impairment. 54% of them couldn't even feel anything. There was absent, and 46% was impaired. And there is a huge consensus in the medical community that peripheral neuropathy is caused by hypoxia to the nerves. And when we're speaking in diabetic terms, right, we know that there's a circulation problem, because that's why diabetics get wounds. That's why they don't heal, because they're not getting oxygen and nutrients, right? This technology is cleared by the FDA, right? Has been for a very long time. And the study was performed in the physical therapy department of the Medical Center of Aurora, Colorado. Legit place. All right. So what if you could start feeling better in as little as 30 days? What would it mean if you could feel better in as little as 30 days? It'd mean everything, I'm sure. Um, all of these patients were treated the same, right? They all had similar characteristics. There were no changes. There were zero changes, no changes made to their standard treatment plan. So the only thing that changed was the addition of something called anodyne therapy. It goes by many different names: monochromatic, near-infrared photoenergy, photobiomodulation, low-level light therapy, and there's many different ways to call it, but I just call it anodyne therapy. So these patients, well, this is a neat one here, so you can kind of see where they started. You don't need to have to know how to read these charts, but baseline is before they started, and then after 12 treatments. These people were either impaired or had absent sensation. After it, from impaired to intact, from absent to impaired. And this just all happened in about 30 days. The average amount of improvement in all of these patients, average amount is 85% improvement in sensory function. So what they do is they use a little monofilament, a little, different size little plastic things that can bend. So it's not an EMG when they see if you have neuropathy. And quite frankly, the cause for your neuropathy is not that important when you talk about reversing it. But this monofilament test is known as currently the best choice for screening for clinically significant neuropathy, and provides a good predictive ability for the risk of ulcerization and amputation. And we don't want that, and we can avoid it. Right? So these treatments were done in the outpatient setting, can reverse the sensory deficits of all diabetic subjects that were treated. It's something you need to know. And I'm going to tell you at the end of this how you can get more information about this free, no strings attached, no problem. It is well recognized. We'll say right here under number 1, it is well recognized that photoenergy can modulate circulation, aka increase blood flow, right here. And the last thing you need to know is that in the conclusion, they say that MIR, or this anodyne therapy, consistently has the effect of improving neural function in patients with diabetes. So what that means is, if you've been told that you can't get better, if you've been told that all you have to do is learn to live with it, or take a bunch of vitamins or minerals, or have blood work drawn, or have EMGs done, or go to this neurologist or that, please stop the insanity that hasn't worked for you for years or months or however it is. I'm here to help you. I am a patient advocate. I'm a patient educator. I've got 40 years of healthcare experience. I am Mike, the neuropathy nurse, and I am volunteering my time to speak to anyone suffering with peripheral neuropathy or anyone who has a loved one who's suffering with peripheral neuropathy. And I want to answer your questions. I want to answer them freely, and I want to clear the confusion and skepticism around the natural treatment of peripheral neuropathy. So write a comment, email me at info@mymaxwellness.com. I'll get you a copy of this study. We'll get on a call. You fire away with any questions. And if you like, find me on Facebook. I'm Mike, the neuropathy nurse. Take care, and I do this for you.